Okay. We got a big one ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. What's up? What's up, Glorp? 3 things. 1, reacting to the fit video. I should have had some like background music going on for this intro. Whatever. We're gonna get right into it here in a sec. 2. Actually, boom. I'm base hunting. Oh, actually, I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna take off the welcome Paul. I don't need it. I think. Boom. I don't care. I don't care. Go ahead. Those are my chords. 89, 40. Negative 89, negative 40. Yes, I have seen all the FitMC videos. Okay. Friday was yesterday. Yo. Okay. Thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Very unexpected. I appreciate the support, dude. Welcome on in. Okay, so it's okay. It's kind of late. Thank you for pointing it out, T Black. Ah, shit. And NATO, welcome on in. Stream looks naked without that. I know. Okay, so right quick, just to let you know, this account, I just have like the cords turned off for me too, because we're so far out. I'm not really worried about it. Like so far out. This is like 20 mil, 11 mil type thing. Throw this open. I'm just gonna be AFK following this in the background while we watch the video. He was just going one direction for quite a while. Now he just started squiggling around. So maybe we'll end up somewhere by the end of stream. I don't really know. A trail that is just fine to AFK while we watch the video. Then, the final thing we're going to do today, I mean, we might do like a little mini game here and there type situation after we finish the video. But, on my main account, I am currently logged out at a dupe stash I found last night in the end dimension. So, I guess after we watch the video, I'll do like a little tour of this stash. I really wish I would have found it on stream. It's not huge, but for like 2025... it's awesome. It's great. It's fantastic. So stay tuned for that. Throwing up the video. Let me catch up with messages one last time, and then we're going to get right into it. Sigbungus, welcome on in. Closty. Yo, bro. Stay safe out there. Don't hit your head. And, Windoid, welcome on in. Dr. Kia. Vape Pens Eats. Throw me a dub. That's fine. I'll throw like a whole dub into the void, and whoever catches it catches it. All right, are we ready? 3, 2, 1. This is my first time ever watching this video. We all know, as like 2B2T community members, we tend to be real critical of Fit's work. You know, I didn't really understand it until I started playing 2B2T, and I'm like, wait, this is just a bunch of horse shit. But that's just because, like, he's not active anymore. He doesn't really play when people like come forward to him with their own stories and events and things, and they can kind of like twist what he talks about, and it always makes for a great story. But you know, sometimes us community members are like, that didn't actually happen that way. So he gets a lot of flack for that kind of stuff. That being said, I have always said my favorite type of fit videos are always the like exploring the highway ones. You know, I really like the old fit, the like stacked armor stuff, and like Russia War era stuff. You know, I think most of us can agree that's prime. That's prime fit right there. And I've only heard one person's review so far about this video, and they said it kind of felt like he was going back to the old fit. So I look forward to that. We shall see for ourselves, and I'll probably be pausing a little bit along the way if I feel like I need to. All right. We'll have like a cozy hot cocoa. How much for the stash? Not even joking. Fit does steroids. The stash is, I thought it was like 50 dubs at first, but it probably looks closer to like 30 dubs. I'm not going to sell it. Publicly. It's good when he just explores the server and doesn't try to fabricate a story. Exactly. All right, are you guys ready? Let me get my snacks. We're starting.
The Stanarchy server in Minecraft has a reputation.
What is going on? We don't.
For many things,
okay,
but one of them is the expansive highway system actively maintained by the players. But while the main highways are under constant construction, the diagonal highways are a different story. Receiving far less travelers, the quality of these abandoned roads range from acceptable to dangerous at times. In some places, it's
doing the
barely a road at all.
overworld diag highways?
With no construction crews, these highways only get extended by random travelers from time to time.
Let's grow some potatoes or something. Moment, thank you for the follow.
How far do each of these bizarre highways actually go in the overworld?
4 and 1.
I had a personal bet with someone.
Okay.
I didn't think a single one of them went beyond 100k diagonal.
Oh, get real fit.
So to find out, I decided to do a challenge. I would travel all 4 of the diagonal highways to see how far they went.
I have not seen
Instead
it.
of using my main account, which would make the journey way too easy, I would do it on a fresh account that had never logged in before. So not only would I be traveling, but I would have to stay alive as well. So come along with me as I travel all 4 of the diagonal highways on 2B2T, witnessing the spectacular ruins, having a few brushes with death, and meeting some odd
No, don't give him
characters.
clout. No,
now,
no.
Which highway do we start with first? Well, I actually wanted to go in reverse order, from the least traveled diagonal to the most. To get this information, I got into contact with 2B2T legend Leisure, who was the mastermind behind the multiple exploits over the years that actively tracked players in real time. While these exploits no longer work,
I already knew that.
Leisure is still sitting on the data that was taken while they were active. I asked if he knew which of the diagonal highways were the most and least popular during
Are you guys having fun?
time. He revealed that the popularity of each diagonal actually changed week to week. But by the end of the collection period, generally, this was the order. Southwest was the least traveled.
Southwest.
Just
Neg pause, really? Huh.
barely ahead of it was Northeast. Then it was Northwest, and the most popular was the Southeast.
Me too,
so
T-Bag.
that is the order I was going in.
Okay, let me think about this. Southwest. That's neg pause. It's fake. Fake news. We all know that neg pause is the best. Is the best highway. Northeast is pause neg. That makes sense. And then pause, and then neg. Wait, neg, and then pause. This data is from like 2017. It's not even real.
I had a bet with someone. I had to travel each one until they either ended or I reached the 100k by 100k
so you're giving up,
which diagonally is actually over 141,000 blocks. I was banned from using the Nether unless I died and needed to get back to my body. With this massive journey ahead,
wait, how did you get banned from the Nether?
Time to log in and head southwest. After joining the server, I found myself right at the heart of spawn. I made sure to walk instead of run in order to
stop
conserve
giving
hunger.
lied clout, bro.
Some of the
Seriously.
big lava casts proved tricky to navigate, but I managed to get down to ground level where I found a fish swimming around that I could use for food.
Nice, dude.
After walking a few hundred blocks, I managed to locate the southwest diagonal.
Thanks for the amazing content, Paul. Is this sarcasm because I'm reacting? It's my first time ever.
Thanks for the amazing content, Paul.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Diagonal highway, and my first journey began. Walking down the road, I quickly found a griefed base. Being directly on the highway and this close to spawn, it was inevitable for it to be destroyed. There were some logs nearby, though, so I made sure to grab
So much for
some basic supplies.
team no trees.
I saw a spider approaching
What a
me,
joke.
so I hoped it would drop at least 2 string for a fishing rod, and sure enough, it did. After killing another spider at around 3,000 blocks, I saw
That's
a
SBA!
cabin in the
What?
distance, so I went to investigate. It was clearly a spawn base at one point, but had fallen into ruin. Surprisingly, there were horses and other animals nearby, so I decided it would be worth it to...
I'm pretty sure it was SBA 6 is that location, and it was also a location where Grego did his second Grego gear event, and Dan Ducky won.
Go fishing to try and get a saddle. Being on horseback would make the journey far less tedious, so I spent the next hour fishing in the server's laggy conditions. During a rainstorm, I got super lucky and actually managed to
Paul's
get
always
one.
on edge when he gets a compliment.
The fastest horse
Yeah,
I
don't take compliments very well.
I was ready to hit the road. The journey had already become much easier, but at around 4,000 blocks, there was a massive lava cast that prevented horse travel. So after going around it, I discovered a somewhat intact farm. To be directly on the highway and still have crops was pretty unusual, especially so close to spawn.
That's a nice
but
lava cast.
This was the least traveled highway after all, so it made sense. I hopped back on my horse and continued to head southwest. The road was still made out of obsidian, but I wondered how long that was going to last. I soon found myself at the 5,000 block milestone.
What?
It was a massive set of platforms completely submerged in water.
Oh, that's
and this
cool.
was likely done to prevent griefing. This strange build towered all the way past the clouds. Especially with the vines hanging down, it was a very interesting find.
Oh, yeah.
After taking one last look, I was back on the road.
Never seen that.
From here, the highway turned into mainly cobblestone and started becoming very uneven in some places. After riding past a massive fire field, I found another set of ruins at around 6K. Looking around, a few of the structures could be seen intact, but the majority of it was a crater, unrecognizable.
Unrecognizable.
There were no valuables left, so I continued. From here, the highway became tricky to navigate on horseback.
That is not a highway, bro.
These elevated bridges carried me past gigantic lava casts.
Holy.
In the shadow of these casts, I ended up finding a mostly ungriefed melon farm. It was in much better shape than the previous farm I had come across.
I missed one.
A few hundred blocks later, in the distance, I saw a lone skeleton horse.
Whoa, that's crazy. On this highway that he's on right now, it's already to deep slate cobble. Which means that it only, like, reached this point. I don't know.
Skeleton horses are valuable on Anarchy servers because withers will not attack them due to their undead status.
But Fit has made a friend with his current horse, so he will not abandon it because it's his best friend.
And their ability to run underwater without forcing the rider to dismount is pretty useful. But sadly, this one was too slow, so I continued with my regular horse. At 7.5K, I managed to find another massive farm that, despite being right on the highway, was in great shape. To look this good despite being relatively close to spawn, I knew this highway didn't have many travelers. Continuing southwest, right next to the path was a small building. The 7777 Tavern, named after the coordinates it was built on. Sadly, there were no beverages, but there were plenty of signs left by all the players that had come before me. Even in a desolate wasteland, there was genuine connection.
Oxtaz was there.
It was a nice find. From here, the road actually devolved into a dirt path. One area was nothing more than random
It's like a
cobblestone
grown
and
child with the
torches
voice
with
of a
ice.
leaf blower.
I was actually surprised at how quickly the lack of infrastructure on this highway seemed to reveal itself. Soon, I found myself at the 10K milestone, which really wasn't much to look at, just a tall lava cast with a big layer of obsidian in the sky. But I was happy that I was able to get this far out so easily on a fresh account. I wondered just how far this highway was going to go, despite being the least traveled. Well, around 11,000 blocks,
this guy's playing like a vet right now.
Expecting. I came across some signs that had apparently marked the end of the highway from just 1 year ago. I thought maybe it was a mistake of some kind or someone was trolling, but more signs informed me that a player named Carpenter had taken it upon themselves to try and extend the highway.
That's crazy,
so maybe
actually.
I really was getting close to the end. But soon, more ruins came into sight. It seemed like either a temple or cathedral of some kind, mainly made of stone. Like all the other ruins we had come across, I wondered what the story was behind this place.
Ooh, I like it.
It definitely gets the imagination going.
Yo, Luke.
Getting back to traveling, as my horse took me further southwest, suddenly the road ended, with a sign to mark the true end of the highway.
Oh, already?
Was this right? Even though it was the least traveled highway, I wasn't expecting it to end this quickly. Just to make sure, I searched a few hundred blocks ahead to check and see if the highway had just been griefed. On my way, I accidentally wandered into one of the largest pillager raiding parties I had ever seen in Minecraft. Since I had no good gear, I made sure to keep my distance, but they were not happy to see me. After searching farther ahead and finding nothing, I could confirm that the end of our first highway, the southwest diagonal, was only at 12K.
I've seen bigger frog mobs before.
Blocks from 0. The road was much shorter than I was expecting. But rather than teleport back to spawn via death, I decided I would just turn around with my horse. This would prove to be a mistake, though, as on 2B2T, anything that can go wrong eventually will go wrong.
What are you doing, Fit?
After exploring some additional areas on the way back, while I was riding on a cobblestone bridge, the server decided to kick me off my horse.
Die, Fit. Die.
Well, at least I was back at spawn now.
Should have done that in the first place.
Little did I know that this next highway would be much, much longer.
Uh-oh. Easy.
After returning to spawn and losing all of the gear I had already acquired, the first thing I did was kill a few fish swimming around to get some food. I crafted some basic supplies and used them to fight my way out of spawn. I did take some time to see the sights though, such as the massive lava pillars.
Yes, I love the lava pillars. I love those things. Shout out Space Bar.
I found myself at the start of the northeastern
Shout out Paper Robber while I'm at it.
Little did I know that this highway would be far more dangerous. I spent the first few thousand blocks just trying to avoid hazards and manage my hunger.
What the hell?
Not far from some ruins,
what the helly?
I managed to find some exposed iron ore which I could use to make a shield.
Damn, they're just leaving us around
some more food and smelting the ore, I would be set for a while.
Okay, so what highway are we on?
Around 3,100 blocks, I saw some ruins nearby,
now.
And to my surprise, it was now a massive pit going all the way down to bedrock. Falling into this thing would likely spell trouble, so I admire.
How does Fit just not get hunted at spawn? He's on an alt account.
From the surface before continuing on. I'm glad I crafted a shield because skeletons were all over the highway tunnels. There was no avoiding them. The mobs were actually a greater threat than being attacked by players, it seemed, so I had to stay on my toes. For the next 2,000 blocks, all I came across were griefed farms and unrecognizable ruins. But at least the road was still obsidian.
Yeah, it's a nice road.
Upon reaching the 5K milestone, I realized that it was almost identical to the one from the previous highway. Here, I was able to find a name on a sign.
Okay, listen. I didn't say it when we came across the first one. I really regret not saying it now. But I knew that was going to be a J Feather build. Well, I didn't know it. J Feather is known for making these obsidian and quartz really tall towers, but the other highway one was a lot thicker than the ones he usually builds at like bases or whatever. But that's crazy to hear. He has turned his notorious classic build into highway monuments now in thicker fashion. That's awesome. Shout out that guy.
They seem to be the one building these things. It was safe to assume that we would be seeing them on the remaining highways.
Yeah, he's been doing that since like 2021.
So after looking around a little bit, I hit the road again. For the next few thousand blocks, it was mainly more ruins, but I did find what was left of a bamboo hut, so I used it as a rest area to cook some food.
I like it.
Once I reached the 7K milestone, I was met with an upside-down obsidian pyramid.
Classic.
A massive hall of nether portals, as well as the ruins of a city nearby. Still no civilization, though.
Is that Daddy Ross?
At 8,100 blocks, the highway went from obsidian to stone.
Okay.
And not long after, straight ahead was a giant obsidian castle completely submerged in water.
Wait.
From a distance, it was both imposing and awe-inspiring.
On one of the highways at 10K, there's just like a massive ocean built from old build limit, and it takes up like 1K by 1K. I don't know if this is it, and he just ran into the castle first, or...
There was a tunnel leading through the water, so naturally I used it. But after fighting a few creepers,
I don't think so.
I suddenly realized that it wasn't just the castle.
Oh.
The entire highway and surrounding areas were also submerged.
What can I say?
This was about to be a massive headache. Without a respiration helmet, the best I could do was move from air pocket to air pocket. For over 1,000 blocks, I slowly made my way through, taking it slow and steady. One wrong move and I would be back at
I love
spawn.
that spot.
While waiting in an air pocket, I saw what appeared to be a massive
Yes,
dome in
the
the
dome.
distance, so I decided to investigate.
Hell
Once
yeah.
I was
Oh,
in,
he might see
I
a sign of mine in
surveyed the
here.
area,
Pause.
And while there were a lot of craters, the dome itself seemed to be holding strong for the most part.
Come on, read the signs.
Underwater builds are always a noble endeavor,
Dome?
especially on
Seth,
this server.
you should renovate
I
it.
slowly
It's a really nice
continued
spot.
on the highway, but the mobs were becoming a problem. After having multiple tridents thrown at me, I managed to find the other end of the
Bro,
tunnel.
every single time I watch like a different Minecraft video and there's like sounds of creeper explosions, tridents being thrown, anything of the like I have an internal like reaction thinking that it's one of my own accounts dying or something.
So I had some breathing room.
Dome
literally.
chords.
But
we're talking. He's in Paz Neg now, I believe. That's just, yeah. He went Neg Paz first. Now he's in Paz Neg, and it's at the 10K milestone. Like around there, you'll see the giant ocean up to old build limit, and it's just somewhere in there. You should go.
The entire region remained submerged.
I'll
I can't
literally help
imagine
you,
the amount
Seth.
of work that went into causing this level of flooding over such old terrain. Eventually, the tunnel ended upon reaching the 10K milestone, and I was glad to be back on dry land. For a while, there wasn't much to see, but at around 12.5K, I managed to find the first intact base
I also wonder
of the
who
highway,
made that thing.
a small cabin
It was before
with
I
berry
even joined.
bushes and some supplies. I only took a few things that I felt would be useful, but
I
left
like
most of
it.
Now we were starting to find
Ooh.
the good stuff.
Now we're
At
talking.
this distance, the highway was starting to fall into disarray with random blocks on the path. But it had already gone longer than the previous highway, so I knew
Nice.
there was plenty of distance left to cover. Upon entering a lava cast, I was met with flowers on both sides.
Oh, this is
For once,
nice.
it didn't feel like I was trying to survive in a wasteland, but soon it was back to the usual scenery of utter destruction.
Yeah.
As I continued, it was pretty funny to see
Bet,
modern
Seth,
sea creatures
bet.
like dolphins in terrain that was at least 15 years old. Appropriately, I soon found myself at the 15K milestone, which was a lovely rest stop complete with farm and shelter. At this point, I was still on foot. I figured going through the hassle of getting a saddle for a horse again wouldn't be worth it if this highway was going to end at any moment, so stubbornly, I kept hoofing it. At 17,300, I came across a base that had been griefed long ago. Vines were now hanging down from the buildings, so these had been here.
Oh wait, was there a
while.
Cody Smile sign? I missed it.
On one hand,
Oh, well.
it's very somber to explore ruins like these, but on the other hand, these builders knew the risks when they built directly
I
on
love
the
places like
highway.
this, like stone, cobblestone, glass, wood, all of the old school blocks, and then it gets just nuked like this, but not like cratered, just like disheveled. Throw on the vines right on the highway. Chef's kiss.
It is what it is, but still a cool find. At this distance, old chunk borders were becoming a common sight, especially right off the highway. At the 20K milestone,
Ooh, this that he's about to pull up on is so sick. I don't know if he recognizes it. It's just like a bunch of like random weird red and black blocks in the sky, and it doesn't make any sense when you look at it. It's kind of like weird and trippy, but if you free cam above it and look above, you'll see that through like the staircase of things, it's like a drawing of a house from the sky. Check this out.
met with a very bizarre sight.
I love this place.
Massive lines of red concrete littering the sky. There was no rhyme or reason to it, but finding weird stuff like this is why highway travel is so interesting.
No, he didn't look at it. He didn't notice.
From here, the terrain changed wildly, going
I've
from
mapped it
large
before.
ocean
That's
one
cool.
minute to frozen wheat farms the
I'll have
next.
to go back.
There was definitely plenty of variety. At 23K, I saw a small campsite off the side of the road, so I figured I could use it to cook some food.
This is where he does his video
Big
intros.
mistake. While it was cooking and I was getting some aerial footage on the side of the highway, I got ambushed. Back to spawn. But luck was on my side. Upon entering the nether,
not him. Skip through.
And other loot in the nearest e-chest, because to use them at this point took body in less than 12 minutes. Totems, which randomly gave me an elytra, fireworks, golden apples, and totems, which I was able to use.
Isn't he supposed to be a griefer?
Body
that
in
guy?
Less than 12 minutes. After crafting some proper
16
armor,
you actually
I
won
stored the
Cryo
elytra,
Q
fireworks,
in
and
our
other
last
loot
big
in the
giveaway.
nearest e-chest, because to use them at this point would feel like cheating. I wanted to continue on foot or by horse, but I did keep a totem on hand for emergencies. From here, the oceans were becoming larger and larger. Upon reaching land at 24K, I found something completely unexpected. A roadside attraction called Plankhenge, completely ungriefed. To build something like this, you have to ask, is it creativity or insanity? Probably a mix of both. I always appreciate builds that feel like actual roadside tourist attractions you would find in real life. As the road continued over ocean, I really began to miss having a horse. Sooner or later, I would likely have to fish for another saddle, but while I was contemplating,
he's just low-key flexing his cool cape on that
attention
account.
to the road, and suddenly,
yes, run him down. Get him, Wither. Get him.
Get him.
Where's your horse, Fit? Where's your horse?
Get in
the boat. Get in the boat. Get in the boat. Oh, ride the dolphin.
So my only hope was to run. It managed to pop my totem, so I kept swimming.
Run,
my
Fit,
only
run.
chance was to try and get the wither stuck on some geometry, so I began swimming towards land.
Come on, geometry.
It was getting stuck briefly, but not enough for a full escape. Just when I thought it was over for me, a dolphin appeared and boosted my swim speed so I could get away.
Yes,
it felt like one of those real-world stories you hear about dolphins saving swimmers from shark attacks.
Yes, sir.
It was definitely my lucky day. Using my newfound speed, I eventually swam back to the main highway. No more delay. It was time to fish for another saddle, since horses can outrun withers in most cases. After about an hour, I managed to get one. Hopefully, there would be a horse somewhere.
An hour? It took him an hour to fish up a
here,
saddle?
The highway was starting to get kind of crooked, but at least it was still going. I soon found myself at the 30K milestone, which was just a floating platform with a small farm. Just outside the milestone, I saw a horse near an old nether portal that someone had abandoned. So I put my saddle to good
in the water.
use. The horse ended up being pretty fast, so I was hoping this would speed up some of the more boring parts of the highway. This ocean was generated in a very old version of Minecraft, when practically endless oceans were a feature, not a bug. For thousands of blocks, it was nothing but water, cobblestone, and signs. Upon reaching 36K, I finally hit land, and everyone was under the impression that the ocean was finally over. But just 100 blocks ahead, there it was. No escape.
That's awesome.
There were long stretches of absolutely nothing, but I still had to pay attention the entire time in case I stumbled upon another wither. Eventually.
Do you guys remember that one game? It was like a Flash. It wasn't even on like silver games or addicting games or anything like that. Or actually, yes, probably it was. And you played as like a little orange triangle, and you just like went side to side, and there was like things coming at you, and you had to dodge them. And then like the next level, it like changed to like black and green. You were like in the Matrix, and then boom, next level you were like in space or something. And the whole time you were just like a little triangle going side to side. That's basically what he's doing.
I hit the 40K milestone. After climbing some stairs to investigate a melon farm, I realized it was inside a massive replica of the famous Wrath Outpost, which had originally been built at spawn 10 years ago. A build that had once been considered a major achievement on the server was now a highway rest stop. There was a deeper meaning in that somewhere, but my brain had been smoothed out by all the ocean, so I kept moving. For 10,000 blocks, there was nothing but water and random blocks until I reached the 50K milestone. Other than a small farm, there really wasn't much to it. After watching a zombie grief itself, I knew it was time to continue. Shortly after, I found a dead body on the highway with their XP still floating there. Luckily, they dropped some diamonds. Upon reaching a griefed rest stop, I was able to craft diamond armor, which would give me a much better chance of survival from here on out.
Go.
Other than finding more ruins and odd builds from time to time, there was nothing of substance to be found on this stretch of the highway. The most entertaining thing I found was a massive underwater piglin rave happening near a nether portal.
You say
Pretty weird.
piglin rave?
The 60K milestone was nothing more than some pillars of water and a griefed skyscraper.
Pillars.
It was now roughly 5 times the length of the previous highway.
Line
How
rider,
far
nice.
was this thing going to go? At 65,000, there was land, but just like last time, it didn't last long, and I was back to the sea. I was still finding signs from previous explorers that, like me, had slowly been descending into madness from this road. The 70K milestone was a simple cobblestone post with some signs and lanterns, and that was it. Just ahead, some signs were left behind by a player named Miles that claimed this was the end of the highway roughly 1 year ago.
The why that seems like a waste of time sign. I think it's probably by Manic Road because he's the one that leaves those smiley faces
I ran into
behind.
a wither, but this time I was fast enough to escape.
Oh, sick! No.
Horse. But I walked over the remains of someone that wasn't so lucky. At 76K, the highway had a large section that had been griefed, and without the blocks to repair it, I was forced to abandon my horse.
Can't he push the horse into the boat?
Despite there still being some interesting things to see, the highway continued to degrade. As expected, the 80K milestone looked like a giant pile of trash. Into the boat? But yet, off in the distance, I saw something massive. Someone had built a giant statue that was still standing, and despite a little bit of damage, it was magnificent. Staying on the road this long had been worth it just to see something like this.
Monumental.
But things went from magnificent to
Colossal.
Weird very quickly.
What the?
As I found a random pair of sniffers just chilling under a netherrack bridge.
Oh.
At this point, I was just happy to have some variety in my journey. But as I followed that bridge, suddenly it came to an end. I thought maybe it was just another griefed section, but as I traveled 1,000 blocks ahead, I realized it was actually over. That netherrack was the true end of the Northeast Highway, coming in at
the shape of it is weird. It's like they were doing the new
blocks, with a true diagonal distance of 117,500.
Like scaffold, but where you can like
way
spread it
longer
out.
Than the first one, but still, none of these highways had reached 100K yet. After putting away my gear safely, it was time to travel back to spawn and hit the second most popular highway, the Northwest. Back at spawn, I carefully made my way over to an e-chest and pulled out my elytra just so I could get to the highway. Once there, I put it back into storage.
I actually used the golden ratio to hide my stash. I don't know if I told you guys.
I was once again met with massive mountains of
so now he's in Neg, I believe.
Having gear at this stage made the first part of this highway less stressful than the others.
This is Swisher's
but I
favorite
still
highway.
had to be alert.
Yo, Ty Guy,
After
hey, I can't believe
another horse.
This handle wasn't taken. First time back on Twitch in like 5 years. Ty Guy, you ever played 2B2T?
It made me realize just how common they actually have become in the spawn region. No complaints from me though. At 4,100 blocks, I found the ruins of a town, and after getting closer to investigate,
this is one of the great spots.
I actually saw an LA flying around. Its original owner must have either died or fled the griefing, but I'd never seen one so close to spawn before.
Whatever, Whiter.
After taking in the sights, I kept moving, but not before looting another dead body for some extra food. Just from all the builds I kept running into, it was
a Ross
that
sign.
This was
so we just saw like a cool little Ross banner. Just wanted to point that out real fast. But this location that he's at right now is at Neg 44444444. I think those are the chords. And this is the Highway Workers Union spawn base for a long time. It existed when I first joined in 2020, and part of it is still there because a lot of it was made out of obsidian. But this like Coliseum room, I don't know if he goes into it, but it is so cool in there still. There's some like lava pillars protected by iron bars. That's like really cool and scenic. It's just a classic spot. Shout out Highway Workers Union.
A far more active highway than the previous two. Leisure's data was
yes, he goes in there.
Lining up with what I was finding.
No, go back. I'm gonna press pause right at the moment. Look at those things, like and then the bars. It's cool.
Reserve's data was definitely lining up with what I was finding. The 5K milestone, as expected, was another set of floating platforms in the exact same spot.
No, we don't need to look at that.
Cherry blossom trees, but a wither prevented me from looking around the place. Luckily, my horse was fast enough to get away. After all the chaos, things became quiet for a while. There wasn't much going on other than the occasional grief or weird block formation. But I did notice that the obsidian part of the highway was lasting longer than the previous ones. After finding the first ungriefed farm of the highway, I soon hit the 10K milestone. Other than signs left by players, there were also numerous crosses littered all over the landscape.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite milestones on 2B2T, period. When I was brand new to the server, and I was just like walking around, didn't know where I was at. I remember I pulled up on this place. I didn't even know what my chords were. I pulled up on this place. It's since like been a bit more dilapidated, but it's for years now has just been a massive valley of netherrack crosses, and I actually added some myself because I liked it so much. It just felt so like twisted and like weird and messy.
It wasn't, you know, what you would normally see on Anarchy servers.
And like a lot of it's on fire and stuff.
The obsidian part of the road had ended, and I was now on cobblestone. Now, throughout this journey so far, I had passed many mobs on the highways, but for some reason, as I was getting ready to pass by a creeper, my horse decided it was the perfect time to stop moving and stretch its legs. My horse had betrayed me. After a few minutes, I managed to return to my dead body. I had now died at least once on all the highways so far.
Wait, you died on the first one?
That would be the last time. I managed to find another horse nearby, but I had to be far more careful around creepers. I came across a large area of what players refer to as Swiss cheese ice.
Nice.
The server has been through so many versions of Minecraft that some biomes close to spawn generated as cold biomes 15 years ago. But eventually, they changed to warmer biomes. So sites like this are pretty common in the greater spawn region. After swapping horses for a faster one, the highway went on for a while as a bridge high above the terrain, so mob spawning was less of an issue.
I used to get Fetafor mixed up with
This bridge
Dad
went on
back
for
in the day.
thousands of blocks,
I could never
with
remember
many
either of their
old
names.
builds visible in the distance.
Back in the day,
cool to
meaning
look
like
at,
a year
but
ago.
not worth stopping to investigate. But at 17,400,
nice.
I did see an old town in the distance, so I took a peek. It was completely abandoned, but the fact that there were
has, like, the
no
letters up here
modern
and then the letters
blocks in
down
it
there.
meant that this thing must have been ancient. The next few thousand blocks looked similar. More ruins with plenty of craters around. But for being one of the more traveled diagonals, things were pretty calm for a while. It was pretty relaxing to just look over at some of the interesting ruins without actually leaving the highway. Upon reaching the 20K milestone, I looked around for anything interesting, and there happened to be an obsidian cabin nearby with signs left by travelers. Obsidian may not be the prettiest block, but it sure is useful. For thousands of blocks after this, things continued to be pretty quiet. I would switch between enjoying the beautiful scenery and then getting PTSD anytime I was next to creepers. The 25K milestone was just a simple farm and some signs left by other players, but still worth it to stop. The road was becoming more random in the materials it was made out of, but was not showing signs of ending anytime soon. At 28,000 blocks, I saw someone had planted mangrove trees in old terrain, which as a Florida man, I could appreciate.
Nice.
The 30K milestone looked very imposing directly ahead of me, but as I reached it, I was met with a very calm garden area. I definitely
it was like a mini boat. That's cool,
I was
actually.
making much better time on this highway than the previous ones, since there was less to see.
This is a good road.
Especially when going through massive tunnels that cut through mountains and hills. Around 35K, I reached what was once the end of the highway, but apparently a player named Waterman had taken it upon himself to single-handedly expand the highway. But
Waterman,
what's interesting
Wine
is
Child.
that Waterman returned and claimed the highway had been expanded to 300K. That would imply it was over 3 times the length of the Northeast Highway, which would be insane if true, but I made a note of it. The 40K milestone looked ruined from the
Yeah, I have a
outside,
feeling he's gonna get
but
to the
once
100K
again,
here and then just
on the
move on.
inside, it was a garden. This one was even more intact, but when a creeper started approaching me, I had to cut my visit short. As I went further, the road alternated from massive ruins to serene nature, and this back and forth went on for quite some time. There was plenty of biome variety, which made things interesting at least, but I was just glad to not be traveling a giant ocean again. I found more signs left by Waterman as he kept working on the highway. It was wild how just one person was taking the road this far. When the 50K milestone appeared, it was one of the weirdest looking ones I had ever seen.
Why does it look like that?
Almost like someone had attempted to make a giant cube, but was only partially successful. Visually, it was very striking though. The inside was a large obsidian pyramid with things scattered about.
Are those 69s in the middle? Did I make that?
If this highway was going to reach 100K, then it meant we were halfway there.
Dupe stash!
Just ahead, I found another sign from the mysterious Waterman that we had been following this entire time. I could tell there was still plenty to see. There were some ocean chunks this far out, but land was always visible right off to the side, so it didn't really feel like an ocean, especially when I was back on land again in only a few hundred blocks. There were more farms, more crosses for some reason, and also some bats, which had been brought back from extinction thanks to server updates.
Oh, whatever, Fit. You fumbled.
I came across a dead body that had
I thought that was a pyrobite head for a sec.
As well as an extra saddle. Lucky find. And just down the road was the 60K milestone, but shockingly, there was an active base in the distance, made by a player named Jason 1. Upon approaching it, there was plenty of livestock like cows, pigs, and chickens. Right above them, the house was filled with food, beds, and other useful tools for travelers. A sign out front said Jason had completed this base only a couple of weeks ago. So I truly lucked out by finding this place before it was destroyed. Bases like this never last.
Why do you think Fit is not logging in on his main? If he logged in on his main, he would just be like hunted. You know, people would be searching everywhere on all the highways around spawn, all like the big famous old bases and stuff, just trying to find him. Like it'd be, yeah.
But the travelers that come across them will never forget
Taco.
Them. Nice work, Jason. The stretch of road from 60K to 70K is pretty quiet. The only real point of interest was the 6-6 repeating milestone. I was just impressed at the quality of the road that Waterman had been building. It cut right through mountains and was extremely horse-friendly. Despite never meeting this person, I was really admiring their work ethic.
Thumbs up for Waterman.
The 70K milestone was underneath a mountain, so the space was a little tight, but at least it was cozy, especially with a nice fireplace nearby.
That's nice.
At 72K, an old lava cast had been transformed into a lush farm with plenty of melons and even a statue of an axolotl. There was also
I missed
another
that. I want to see the axolotl.
Plenty of melons and even a statue of an axolotl.
Ooh, it's cute.
There was also another massive farm at 77K, but this one had been
the nerds griefed it. See, they left their sign in the back.
Up the road, the 80K milestone was pretty chaotic, and with hostile mobs crawling around, I didn't really feel like stopping.
Oh, he
I
didn't
found
point it
an
out.
old house covered in
That's
vines,
what that player
but
face was. That was
really
Wine
made
Child.
me pull over was what I saw at 83K. There were frogs on the side of the road.
Frogs.
This was actually my first time encountering them on 2B2T ever. They weren't exactly an animal I would go out of my way to find, but it only took
you can't put a frog in a bucket,
highways for me to stumble upon some. Sometimes the fact that the server is finally running on modern versions of Minecraft doesn't feel real.
Yeah,
but
me too.
After the
Still feels
novelty
that
had
way.
worn off, I kept it moving. In that same swamp, I came across another sign from Waterman. He believed that his highway was now the longest of the diagonals. Well, I knew for a fact it was now longer than at least 2 of them.
Here, I'm gonna give you guys a little clue about the dupe stash that I'm gonna show you guys when the video is over. The stash that I found was a 1.12 stash, abandoned in 2020. Yes, yes, yes.
But now there was no doubt in my mind. This highway was probably going to hit 100K, and I was going to lose my bet. 90K was nothing more than a griefed nether portal on some ocean, which clearly had been there before the highway's existence, but that last 10K went quick.
This music he's playing right now, I'm sorry I'm pausing so much right now. This music he's playing right now is from the video game Magicite. Ain't nobody else in the world has played Magicite except for me.
As I found more signs.
It's a great
9K
song.
left, 8K left, 7K, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and finally in the distance, the 100K milestone.
Hey.
Signs on the inside were rejoicing, just like I was doing. Waterman had single-handedly extended one of the shortest diagonal highways from 35K all the way out to 100. What a legend. Looking around, there was actually an old town with a Valkyrian eagle fountain still intact.
Classic.
But otherwise, things were pretty rough. So the Northwest Highway was now the longest, going at least 100K by 100K, or roughly 141,000 blocks diagonally. And it was clear it went even farther than this.
Shout out Neg
But
Neg.
we had reached the
Great
criteria
highway,
for
great place.
stopping on this one.
Great quad.
It was now time to see how far the final highway was going to go. The most popular and therefore the most dangerous.
Pause.
Upon returning to 0-0,
Never really liked
I
that
did
quad.
some parkour to get to an E-chest nearby. I would use my elytra to get to the start of the Southeast Highway. After finding a platform with another E-chest, I put my wings away and started
Southeast?
walking.
Have I gotten it wrong this whole time? Have you guys just been like letting me be wrong? Southeast. No, that's pause. That's pause.
But
That's
I
pause.
actually
That's
found
pause.
another
That's
horse right
Stop
away.
listening.
The most traveled
What's
diagonal
up?
highway had a lot of griefing, so I had to break cobblestone just
North
so my
is neg.
horse would fit through the tunnels in some places. It became so tedious that eventually I just went around and over them. A little more dangerous due to the mobs, but it would save a lot of time.
I'm okay.
But these lava casts were all I could see until I reached the 5K milestone. But this one was different. It was still mainly obsidian platforms, but it was surrounded by windows, with the outside being completely submerged in water. I wondered if this is what the previous 3 had looked like at one point.
See.
After the milestone, it was pretty chill for a few thousand blocks.
Chunky feather.
Nothing but ruined landscapes and some more massive obsidian builds.
Fight Club.
It was clear this quadrant had
Oh, I
seen
remember that
a
one.
ton of activity over
Yo,
the
it's a
past
69.
few
It's a
years.
floating 69. I made
At
that.
7.5K, there were some gigantic ruins with a pyramid made out of nether portals and even a large ring farm with what appeared to be a griefed statue in the middle. It would have been cool to see this place before it was destroyed. After passing by one of the scariest lava casts I'd ever seen
that's a
and exploring more
monster.
ruins off the side of the highway, I eventually made it to the 10K milestone. But like the rest of what I'd seen so far, it was a crater. Right after, the obsidian road had become cobblestone, and while I was expecting more chaos, I actually came across a fully intact fishing hut.
This is
So
nice.
naturally, after looking around, I had to throw out my line, at least for a little bit. I continued through player-made canyons, past massive wheat farms, and a road that was crooked in some places. I eventually made it to 15K, and shortly after, 20K. From this point
Nice.
on, things got really random.
Okay.
From massive farms that were still active,
Oh,
to
is that
frozen
Enclave?
swamps and
Enclave in the
griefed
back?
settlements,
Still
there was
don't know how to say
definitely
it.
more variety in what I was coming across on this diagonal. But as
What?
I was traveling, suddenly a player flew right past
Oh.
me. Landing just ahead, I cautiously
Hi.
approached. It was a player named Arabic Airlines, who instead of killing me, gave me free supplies.
Oh.
They must have seen me on horseback from
Have a
above
safe
and
flight.
wanted to make my life easier. I thanked them for their
Dang.
generosity, and just as quickly as they had appeared, they flew off into the distance. Despite the gift, I was going to continue on horseback. For me, the journey was just as important as the destination, so I deposited most of what was
People are
given.
too soft on this
The
server these
25K
days.
milestone was in the process of being lava cast,
Wine child.
so there was no way to go directly through it. I had to go all the way around. Just down the road where
Just
the
use the
ruins of a
elytra at that
stone
point,
structure that
pal.
had also been covered in lava at one point.
Oh, that's cool.
But the next place I came across, a settlement called Terror Town, was in much better shape, and based on the blocks used, seemed to be actually somewhat old. But as I left, I noticed the road quality was diminishing. It would range from a single block of cobblestone to sometimes nothing more than dirt and grass. Tunnels and bridges across water and ice would have the most work put into them, but everything else was the bare minimum, at least all the way up to the 30K milestone. From here, the infrastructure, at least
cool on the
all
ice
the way up
down
to
there?
the 30K milestone.
Dick. Oh, there's a boat.
From here, the infrastructure did improve a bit, such as someone slicing a path right through a mountain. I suspected that instead of just having a single builder such as Waterman, this highway was just put together by the random travelers that were using it at the time, which would explain the varying levels of road quality. But regardless, it continued and led me to more player-made structures, some in better shape than others. One minute I would be passing by a memorial for someone's cat, and the next I would be at a food truck someone had placed randomly.
Yeah.
Farther down the road, I would find weird redstone.
That wasn't no
ore
damn good
formations
tacos though. That was a
floating
different
over
one.
ice. The build quality was just as diverse as the road quality. The 40K milestone was looking very weathered alongside an old base that was connected to it. From here, the next 10,000 blocks were mainly empty, although there would be an occasional set of ruins to explore. But what I would find at the 50K milestone would take me by complete surprise. The milestone was an active base, but not only was it active, the builder was online.
With shulker
But as
boxes.
I approached them, I realized they were AFK, something you never want to be caught doing
on an anarchy server.
I decided it was worth the risk to try and befriend them, even though they could easily kill me. Eating melons didn't get their attention,
Bed trap
but
'em, Fit.
opening a shulker
Unless you're
certainly
scared.
did.
Oh, there you go.
Luckily, they were friendly. After turning my chat back on, we had a short conversation. Weirdest Mocker had cleaned up and rebuilt this entire milestone single-handedly in order to offer travelers a safe haven from the chaos in both the overworld and the nether. After revealing I was headed to the end of the diagonal highway, I was offered extra supplies,
on,
which
Paul
I
Steven
politely
chat,
declined,
maybe?
since I already
Paul
had
Steven
what I
chat?
needed.
Who's online? Nobody. You got Salmon Ba.
Not wanting to reveal my true identity, I simply warned them that the milestone could see more travelers very soon.
Starving
We
for a
wished
mention.
each other luck on our respective goals, and I continued on my journey. So now that was two different players I had come across on this specific highway. Leisure's data about this being the most traveled diagonal was looking more and more accurate. But despite the activity, for the next 10,000 blocks, there was nothing. I had gone far enough east that there were now massive oceans similar to the second highway I traveled, the northeast. This diagonal bridge over water led me to 60K, which was just a simple nomad hut. But right after this milestone, I came to some signs that implied the end of the highway had been here within the past year, but had since been extended. I knew I must be getting close to the end. As I continued on the scuffed bridge, I kept encountering more false finishes to the highway. Anytime someone stopped building, another traveler would pick up the slack. Around 63,500 blocks, I encountered a large wall of bamboo, and upon investigating, found a pretty intact base, but it had been made using more modern blocks, so it must have been built not too long ago.
Oh, there was a
After
lectern.
admiring more of the sites, it was full speed ahead on the road again. Despite passing by some old bases, the road was barely hanging on in some places, being nothing more than just a line of blocks. But somehow it just kept going. It eventually led me to 69K, which I can't actually show you, or else YouTube would get mad. Let's just say it was an interesting tower. But as I passed 70K, there was no actual milestone, just more of a path that could barely be considered a road. Yet stubbornly, it continued for thousands of blocks. I was still finding interesting builds along the way, but I was hyper-focused on reaching the end. After a lackluster 80K milestone, it started to seem like this thing might go all the way. But soon, I found a sign claiming someone had run out of blocks in this very spot just 2 months ago. The end was near. As I rode
Hurry,
past
keep building
some
it. Somebody,
mobs,
please.
Suddenly, the cherry bridge stopped. Was this it? Just to make sure, I swam about 1,000 blocks ahead, and there was nothing.
No,
so
Fit, don't end the video,
end of the
please.
Southeast
Please don't end the
Highway
video.
Was at 80,700.
Yo, burger.
Roughly 114,000 blocks diagonally. Despite being the most popular diagonal, it was actually the second shortest.
Paul is praying for the unblurred 69K.
But now I had traveled all
it's my
4
base.
of 2B2T's diagonal highways on a fresh account. From shortest to longest, it was the southwest, followed by southeast, northeast, and then northwest, which still leaves the mystery. How far does the northwest road go thanks to Waterman?
Good question.
I guess that's something for you to discover. All you need to do is take that first step and survive.
What the? Why am I'm not watching that. Stop it. Stop looking at my recommended. Stop it. Okay, are we still following this? We're still following this? After all this time? Oh, brother. Why is he so windy? What the? That there is suspicious, actually. The portal was left open, though. If it was like a closed portal right there, then that would be double suspicious. But I guess we just gotta keep on keeping on at this point. We're kind of far. What's going on? Another Fit Classic. Oh yeah, review. I liked it. That was a great vid. Thank you, Fit. Here, let me throw on. I feel so naked without music going on, so let me throw on a little bit of background tunes. And let's say, okay, I'm gonna throw on some background tunes, and we're gonna do just a couple mini games, cause I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I have that one trail that we're following right now. Actually, we could go into the Nether. I'm gonna throw on tunes. We're gonna go into the Nether on that account that I'm AFK on. And we are going to go to the spot where that portal was in the overworld and see if there's like a trail leaving it, or if he just like dips his head into the Nether and comes back, or like let's do a little detective work there while the music plays. Then we're gonna play Wordle and Connections because I'm itching for it. I don't know about you guys. And then after that, I will show you guys the dupe stash I found yesterday. Okay, is that fine? Are we chilling? You guys pissed? 6908. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, man. I'm sure it won't be that long for us to investigate the Nether. Okay, so let's throw down. What if I just do just Final Fantasy VII original OST? That sounds fun, actually. It's not that big. Okay, but I am gonna change my screen capture just a little bit. Sure it does that. Go like this. Go like this. I found it off camera. I was very upset. Well, not really. I was super stoked to find it, but I wish I found it on stream because we were hunting it in the end. Okay, turn this off. Turn this off. Go like this. Turn this on. What's up, video games? We got this. Boom. Oh wait, auto disconnect me. Auto disconnect. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Whew. Sometimes it's like a delay when you do that. Let's see here. I had a feeling there would be a 1.12 activity. Not good, not good. Baritone elytra here. So, a little bit of lore about this nether activity, actually. Eifendorf, thank you for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate it. I pulled up to a sign on this, like, spot, this range that I'm at, and it was a Malik the King sign from 2022. He says, have fun following all that open nether. Burger! Damn, with the prime sub. The prime sub. Got a big poo lover. Bro, thank you for the support, man. You're too good to me. You're too good to me. I appreciate you coming through, too. 5 months of prime. Adder, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. That is a possibility, Nady. That is a possibility. And in this spot in the nether where we found the Malik the King sign, it was from 2022, and he just says, have fun following all this open nether. And I contacted Malik about it, and I recall him doing that. Like, there's nothing attached to that 1.12 trail that he made. I think that he, like, made some crazy link between a diamond ring road and a ring road. And remember, we're at some crazy balls chords. We're at like 20 mil, 11 mil type thing. Do you play 2v2T? Depends who asks. So it's very possible that this trail that we're following is somebody trying to follow it backwards in the overworld after trying to hunt it in the nether, and they just missed the Malik sign, or I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm not necessarily getting my hopes up. I've got my bed set closer to a highway, so that's why I have resorted to taking on that trail AFK. But let's see, at this point, we got 2K left. I want to fill my water real fast. Un momento. Curious. For the fit video that we just reacted to, is that something I should even like upload as its own like thing? I don't know. I know that like other like streamers do that type of stuff. I've never done something like that before. People might enjoy it. Me, like there's a Mario 64 dude named I forget his name, but he makes like content on like the history of world records, you know, of like certain categories and like this, that, and the other. He does it on other video games too, but I don't really like watching those straight up, but I like watching people react to it. Okay, so we're pulling up on this spot where the portal should be. Let's throw obsidian on our search. Yeah, so like there's obsidian way over here, part of a ruined thing, like out of render distance. That's not exactly where we went, but if you throw up our map into the overworld, there should be a portal nether side right here. So I don't know why he chopped up the nether side completely. It makes me a little bit more excited about this trail. Maybe? I don't know. It looks like he was following the 1.12, or I don't know. Here, listen. I'm gonna keep it a brick with y'all. I'm gonna keep it a stack, okay? I haven't exactly revealed this, but I'm out here on like a diamond type deal, and this trail originally just flies right through the diamond over here. Way the hell over here. Boom. Just went right on through. And so I'm like, He's wobbling around though. Let's compare the shape that we're looking at here. Going to the nether. I know we haven't followed it a lot. He could be like tracing it overworld side. Summoning salt. Yeah, summoning salt. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I watch people like react to his videos because I like the extra layer. So I don't know. 6908 says easy content, and it is easy type deal. I don't want it to be misconstrued, but at the same time, like I said, I enjoy it. So yeah. Why would that portal be removed though is the question. There are some base hunters that just do that because they're maniacal maniacs. Couple off the top of my head is Yamez, Ranch. Just evil people chop up portals when they're base hunting. Bro, I know. It's like leaving portals behind when you're base hunting. Like leaving signs that you're base hunting is one of the kinder things that you can do to kind of let other people who are trying to hunt it know. I do understand. Ranch has explained why he does it on stream once before, and he said it's because he doesn't want like to have there be an open portal and put people on a wild goose chase that like ends at something that he's already hunted. But for like more seasoned hunters, like that type of activity is always suspicious, so it makes us want to hunt it more. So I kind of get both. Either way, we're just gonna hop back on the same trail, continue at AFK. If it goes on, it's gonna suck if he follows this entire nether thing in the overworld. It's gonna really suck because if that's the case, it's gonna go like 10 million blocks and just like end at nothing. Thankfully, I'm able to kind of just AFK it though, and I've got stuff going on other accounts anyway, so I'm not too pressed. Yeah, Ranch isn't so active with his streams. I don't think that this is Ranch doing it. It could be Yamez. Yamez has the he's a diligent hunter who's still around doing the damn thing. So does subbing remove ads? Yeah. Sorry, man. People have been complaining about ads lately. I swear I made it so I have like the lowest amount of ads possible. Maybe I should check that really fast. Actually, I will. When we get to the spot, right before I throw up Wordle and connections, I'm going to check that and see if it like reverted back to normal ad rate. I think Twitch resets that from time to time. That's what it seems like, because I'm hearing more complaints the past few streams than usual. Yeah, but Limitless, I'm going to let you know that like even at the normal rate of ads going off with the amount of viewers I have, bro, I make like pennies per stream off that stuff. I way prefer having a more quality viewing experience because like somebody who has a quality viewing experience and isn't deterred from ads, you know, like them subbing with Prime even just like is 6 times more than I'll make in that stream from ads type thing. Not that I'm super impressed about the finances of it all anyway, but okay, here we are, back in the mix. Yeah, not even $1. Yeah. Okay, so let's throw on some more fireworks. I'm gonna get myself really high up so I can just pitch 40 the trail AFK. Okay. Wait, what's Grim? Isn't that a PvP server? Like a PvP practice server? Yeah, viewer retention is more important to me than the amount of money I make off of ads. Okay, I can't even see my Y level right now. So whatever. In the meantime, while I'm increasing my Y level though, I'm gonna check my Twitch. Let's see what the ad rates are looking like. Okay, creator dashboard, monetization, ads. Welcome to the new ads manager. Oh yeah, thumb changed. Ads manager, turn that off. Ads not scheduled. Okay. Automatic, ad length and frequency. Ad minutes per hour. It's at the lowest right now. Okay. It's at 30 seconds per hour is what it should be. Ad net revenue share. Pre-roll ads for incoming viewers. No, let's disable that. Pre-roll ads for incoming viewers. That pisses me off that they just turn that on. After your stream starts, how long do you want ad manager to wait before automatically running ads? Blah. Let's do 30 minutes. So it's longest delay there. Auto snooze ads. Automatically snooze ads during high engagement moments. Yeah, do that. Ad-free viewing. Allow subscribers to watch ad-free. Yeah. Okay. How do I disable this? Run 3 minute mid. Run 3 minutes of mid-roll ads per hour during your stream to fully disable pre-roll ads. Oh, so there's no way for me to manually disable pre-roll ads unless I give you guys 3 minutes of ads instead of 30 seconds. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Oh, pre-roll ads. Disable pre-roll ads when I run ads. Okay. Enable dashboard notifications and be alerted when pre-roll ads are enabled or disabled. Stream display. Okay, so it looks like I turned off pre-roll ads too. That's good. All right, should be good. Should be good. I think it's all saved. All right, so let me get back into the game. We have gone off course, it seems. Rich was so confused when I showed him the sign. Found a fake Rith sign a few days ago and the trail led to a base with 9 doves. Hell yeah, Nady. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Using your resources. Okay, so now I'm going to throw up my screen one more time. Get myself on this trail automatically. Throw on pitch 40. Put my auto disconnect on Y level back on. So that is now going on its merry way. I'm going to turn off the sound for that one. Okay, so now let's play some Wordle. Just a little bit. I'm going to skip this song. It's too scary. Here we go. And video's up. Peng. Boing. Nice. B. I-R-C-H. No way. No way. You got it first try. Okay. That was a good guess, Windowood. No way it actually lets me do it, though. Oh! Okay, you guys just trolled me for that one. By... It's gonna be this. Beist. Hmm? Nice, Nady. Beist. Bible. Bible. But it has to have a C. It has to have a C somewhere. I mean, no way the C is here. Bylock. No. Billick. Billac. Billick. Help. Bicep. Oh, that's it. That's it. GG's to NATO. GG's to T-Black. Huge. 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 Good job, boys. Final hours. 75 hours. Why am I getting so much pop-ups? Okay. Okay, there's like a lot of... Okay, so there's like tip jar, cash register, ATM, bank, and wallet. Purse? Page view, click, hit, visit. Really? Huh? Huh. Okay, so check this out. Curl, pucker. You purse your lips. You purse your lips. You smack your lips. These are all lip things. These are lip things. That's crazy. Ah, they try to trick us with purse. Okay, but I think... Oh, and bank? You like bank something in. Like it's like a bank shot, bounce, ricochet. That's got it. I don't know what that word means, so it has to be a... Nice, nice, nice. And then these are all things that you deposit money into. That was really easy. All right. At this point, what time is it? At this point, so here's my deal. I want to show you guys the stash I found. It's nothing that crazy, but there's some pretty cool kits in there. But I want to do it at the very last so I can move it right after stream without stress of people like coordinating where I'm at. Oh, 'Guys, Guys, I just realized something really, really, really bad. This is probably the worst thing I've ever done in my whole life. This entire stream, I have only had Twitch chat up. I haven't seen any YouTube messages or any Kick messages. This entire stream. I'm so sorry, YouTube. I'm so sorry. Everyone's saying based. It's okay. Good job. Fuck YouTube. I moved over to Twitch because YouTube is dead. Yo, my bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Rude AF, eShop. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. World 99. I'm so Casino. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just fixed it. That's the longest I've ever gone. I was answering YouTube viewers' messages under the alias Profits. I saved the day. They probably didn't notice because you never read chat anyways. Okay, whatever. Appreciate y'all. I don't know. Is it just gonna be like a... Dude, 16 splash you. That's exactly what I said when I saw you in. I'm like, oh yes, this guy's gonna kill Fit. Kill. And then you gave him some stuff, and I'm like, he's supposed to be a griefer. What is this? And then I referenced how you won the last giveaway. Well, bollocks. I don't know what else to do, y'all. Fine, we'll do the McDole. Fine, I'll GeoGuessr, McDole, show off the stash, end. Let's do this. Croatia? Well, you might be right. I'm not gonna get on Grim. Maybe you're talking amongst yourselves. Get me out. Petrol? Where even is Croatia? I thought that was in Africa. Zagreb? It says the city, right, of Italy? Oh, thank you. Okay. Zagreb? Balkans? Oh! Right in the middle of the city, baby. Hey, that was all you guys. That was you guys. That was you guys. Good job. No, I'm not gonna lie. Croatia, that's like the hardest possible thing that it could have given me. I was so far gone there, dude. I thought we were in Africa. Okay. What is this? Are we back in UAE? I think so. Yeah, they got this building. Yeah, Dubai again. We always get Dubai. I'm like so like out of it right now. Hello? Wake up. Here we are. All right. Well, we know it's around here. Let's see if we can get even more. Okay, is this like a major roadway with like some spinny overhead situation? Major roadway. With a spinny head situation. Do you have compass on? Yeah. Oh, that can help. That can help. So if I look directly west, it points to the city. It points to the city. So if I'm here. Ooh, here. We're here. We're here. Okay, so there's... That does not say Dubai at all. Yo, my bad, chat. Yo, my bad. Yo, my bad about that. Thoughts on Shoreline? I love Shoreline Mafia. Trans El Rapido. Okay, give me somewhere I can see. Give me somewhere I can see. Ecuador? Bro, you guys are so fast with picking up on these things. Like, how? I agree. It seems kind of Portuguese. Let's go into the city. Into the city. What does the sign say up ahead? Escalar. When's the duel with Freddy? I don't know. I think he's scared. Peru or Bolivia? Okay, let's look. So this is Ecuador, Peru, and that's Bolivia. Any indicators? I feel Ecuador, actually. I mean, Ecuador is supposed to be super hot, but... It's really cool here. Okay, it looks like it's pretty dang built right there. Like on the edge of a mountain. Let's go here. Let's go Quito. Huh? Hey, we did it! Nice. Look at us. Great, great, great. Okay, McDole. So, in this game... Okay, it's a newer than 1.10, so let's try something like... Cherry. Oh. What? Let's try something like this. Older than 1.19. It's flammable. Okay, okay. Stream froze. Refresh, he back. Whatever. Yeah, just refresh, refresh, refresh. Okay, my hair's looking crazy. Okay, what, did like colored wool come out after? No. There's no colored wool option anyway. What's flammable? What's flammable? Flammable. Wait, shake them dreads? I'm not reading that message. I just did. Yeah, wood. Let's go plank. No. Log? Bro, like, give me something to work with here, game. I think that's flammable. Try this. Whoa! Did I just get it? Did I not get it? It's still making me go more. What even is this? Azalea? One dot 17. Bro. Flowering. What did I even type in to make that show up? Did I press A? So we're looking at 1.17. 1.17. That's not flammable. I'm literally just like, no, that's not flammable. This has got to be some sick joke, right? Oh, moss. It's not flammable. Bro. It's not a full block. It's not a full block, whatever it is. It came out too early. Ooh. Full block flammable. 0, 0, 0. Is this? Hey! Shout out Ben Meldrum. Shout out of Oxy. Nice. Okay. Fine. The moment we've all been waiting for. Now, I will be ending stream right after this. Sorry, it's going to be kind of a shorter one, but yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I've got a full day off tomorrow, so. I'm now going to show you the place I found. The place I found. Now, surely. Wait, what happened? One sec. Something happened here. Drill timed out? It did not time out, bro. It just turned, bro. Get a grip. Let me just edge myself the right direction really fast. This is very unorthodox. Come on. You know you want to go this way. I'm just doing this real fast. Okay, there you go. Okay. Here we are, video games. I don't know. Hopefully I turned the cords off before. Don't hurt me. Here we are. Here we are. Doop stairs. Don't look at that. You don't know where I'm at. Dude, I thought it was gonna be all swords at first. It's this. Pretty cool. So I think it's 2 or 3.5 dubs of each of the huge ones. Pretty good. Yeah, I know. Look at this. Look how bad this is. What is going on here? Why did he do it? Why did he do it? About 3.5 dubs. So this is a good dub. About 3.5 dubs of these guys. I like these because they have fireworks with them. I don't think that they duped here. No, because this is a 2020 spot and there's no donkeys. We got gapples. Half of them are chewed through. I think that they did dupe themselves and moved it here. Because there's some of these that are just like so mud. Like why are they half of them missing 3? I'll still take it. It's fine. Half double crystals. I mean, this is all lava. Nothing too special here. Good old Elytra kits, dude. I'd be freaking if I found this back in. No, it's so. Now, these are my favorite kits. And here, these are my favorite kits that they have here. Swiss Army knife. Look at this thing. It has ladders. Like, what on earth? He's got 2 dubs of them. Half of them are missing a stack of E-chests. I'm not selling it. I'm not selling it. Paul found something for once. I know, and it's off stream, of course. Totems. Like, why did he? Anyways, more of these things. He was living off those elytras. Just some like end stuff, a little bit of end stuff. Dragon heads. Book and quill kits. I think this one is empty. Yeah. But this is a book by the account Thailand. Original book by the account Thailand. Thailand has the best ladyboys of any country, it says. And the place was made by the account Thailand and Portland. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it was off stream. Yeah, even worse. Founded mid-2020. Never heard of these guys. But I synced them on my bot, and they both were real accounts. I guess they made friends because they knew each other. Let's see. There's like just some mixed stuff here. Dude, he duped multiple of this kit with the banners and everything in it. Some classic 2020 stuff. And like the gaps are all the same stacked amount in these things. Are they still active? No, I wouldn't be showing it if they were still active. And like this, like the item frames are named spawn eggs for some reason. Isn't this weird? It's so 2020 of this place to be like looking this way. Like he duped this kit as is, and like this one's picked and this one's moved, and like just the item frames unstacked. Thanks, rules. Good old thing here. Regular items box 16. Like where are the other ones? What even is going on? They're all unenchanted. How do you move stashes from the end? You need 2 accounts. You need 2 accounts at the stash that you're moving. It's awful. Little bit of scraps here and there. But I saved the best dub for last. Not this one. Look at these. Why did he dupe these? Why did he dupe these? What is this? Paul, say hi. Hi. No, visions are red. No, it's not that. Stream's been chill. Like, look at that. Now, like, it's not even a whole dub of these. Like, let's see how many. If I go like this and I shift click them out, it's a half dub. It's a half dub of these things. Like, what is going on? What? Oh, and like, what is this? Like, how many of these? It's like another half dub of these things. What is he doing? Is it like... It's like duped weapons in there, you know, Heoma, Fabustra's totem. All stuff that I've seen mass produced in other places. 2v2t underscore arrow. But yeah, that's my favorite. Besides, obviously, my real favorite, these ones. These are actually nice. Kind of bizarre, but actually nice. Anyways, oh yeah, an XP. But I'm gonna be moving this right after stream. I just wanted to share it with you guys because I like archiving the history, and it's honestly been a fat minute since we found something really stashy, especially 1.12 stashy. Not easy. Here, we'll go up to the surface real fast. Yeah, founded by these guys. Leave a sign if you find. This guy's pissed because there's a endermite over here. A little ender pearl farm. Nothing in there really. Like maybe some unshulked couple dubs of ender pearls, but nothing really. This must be where he set his pearl, because for anybody who hasn't been around since like the 1.12 days, obviously there was no like bubbly water, so you'd have to set it into unloaded chunks, and since render distance was lower, he would walk up here, he would take this pearl, and then he must have like chucked it over here or something and just like let it sit in the unloaded chunks that were farther away, and then his pearl sitting account would just like land here after or something, I guess. He had 2 more lanes going out this way. And another one going out this way. And I guess that this stone slab thing was probably an indicator of where he needed to stand to throw it, and he would probably just like throw it against the wall and try not to throw it into the void. I'm so activated right now. Yeah. Yeah, but like the biggest win obviously here is gonna be those like cool crafty Swiss Army knife kits. Oh, and these used to be alpha slabs, 100%. That's why he had them in here and had them shaped that way. Here, if you go down here, and we'll be able to use a pickaxe to pick it up immediately. It's a petrified oak slab, so that's cool. Precinct pearl spot. Let me cover up my screen really fast. Open up my map. Make sure it doesn't show chords. But yeah. Boom. Right on in. I was so excited to find this. So excited. You know, like, there's all these things about people finding some, like, seriously massive dupe stashes. And, you know, I've had my fair share of being able to do, like, really big raids and this, that, and the other. But this was a very satisfying little lick, for sure. Now, last thing I'm going to do before I head out tonight is here, for anybody who manages to, like, exploit this location and want to, like, get scraps or whatever, I will leave you a book behind. And it's going to be, it's going to say, Fit MC's Fit's new video was pretty good. Actually, I'm just gonna say it was good. Fit's new video was good. And we're gonna title it 0512. Actually, Tullybob, long time no see, man. I'm chilling. I'm just showing off a quick little stash find real quick before I end here in a minute. But for anybody who's really invested in the OG Paul Steve lore, my very first death on the server ever was at the hands of Tullybob. I think. I'm pretty sure. Good times, good times. Wait, let me think about this. This new video was good. Okay, so I'll explain it after this. I need to like not be so in my head about this. Fisting video is good. Sign. Policy to level 7. A memento. How long? A memento. A memento. Why am I? Let's put the date in there. Let's put the date in there. What are you doing? Whoa! And now he's making up for it. Now he's making up for it. For all the pain I suffered. No, tell it, Bob. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted, bro. You did not have to do that. May 12th, 2025. I'm signing it. I don't care. Boom. Sign and close. I don't care. Take something out of here. Boom. 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 There you go. So for anybody who court exploits this location off this stream or whatever, they can at least get that book. Okay, so Blue, this is how you have to move a stash out of the end. You bring a second account out. And you have to make a pearl chamber and have that second account all the way out here. So if you find like a stash deep in the millions in the end type deal, like and it just has to load you back, and you reload, and then either put it in your e-chest and then like /kill back to your bed in the overworld where you have your stash at. You set your bed at your stash, or you know, if you have like an end stash, you can just like pearl back and forth, and it requires 3 accounts that way type deal. Definitely a pain moving in the end, either way you slice it. You know, there's like there's pros and cons, you know, it's a pain to move things out of the end. So in that sense, it's like kind of deters people from hunting. On the flip side of that, with end dimension, there's no way to like, you know, there's no portal skips. It's a bit more difficult to like legitimately hide your trail in the end, because it's just like out there in the open. If someone catches it, they're on their way type deal. So that's the deal with that. It is brutal. Shout out to Tully Bob once again, dude. I appreciate you coming through, and I appreciate your generosity. I hope to see you around more often. You know, if you're ever back around 2BDT and you need anything, let me know. I'm gonna hunt the end now. I will let you know. No plan. Another reason why I am so stoked about finding this in particular is because I am aware of how cooked this dimension has been, especially since Palette New Chunks came out. I mean, huge shout out to the CGI boys, all of them, Swisher Surgeon, Yamez, Oxtaz, Yomilo, great friends of mine, but they have like ruined the end dimension for a lot of people, finding so much stuff as soon as Palette came out, and so I am very thankful to have pulled something out at all. Anyways, I don't really have much else to say. Wish me luck on this move. Hopefully nobody pulls up on me while I'm taking care of business. And yeah, is anybody live on 2B2T right now? Anybody? Twitch. Not anybody that I follow. If I type in 2B2T into Twitch, Khabib Yanov is a guy who's live. I don't know if he actually plays 2B2T. He has 2B2T as a tag, but and he only speaks Russian. Okay, then we'll just. Oh, you know what? Let's raid someone who's playing Final Fantasy right now. Nocturnal Hannah is her name. I've been following her for a while. She's a retro like RPG streamer. Hella chill vibes. Last time I rated her was like a year ago. So she's live. She's one of the few people I follow that's live right now. Super chill. Be kind with her. She's not gonna have any idea what 2B2T is. But if you like kind of like retro style games and those types of vibes, it's a good vibe for sure. So we're gonna send that raid in. Please share some love when you go through. Hi, bye, hey Peanuts. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. I hope you've been well. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming through. Kind of a little bit of a different stream than usual. Not a whole lot of hunting. We did it in the background, you know. Tidbits of hunting. It was cool to share that fit video with y'all. Like I said, I've never really done like a react content thing. It's kind of weird to think about it as like content. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just like chop out that thing and I'll throw it on YouTube. Maybe people will like it. I don't know. But thank you to everybody for all the friendly conversation and questions and chat. Huge shout out to Tully Bob for the 5 gifted sub. Again, I hope to see you around, man. Sorry to end so soon after you came through. Thank you for all the new followers. Burgermain with the resub of 5 months with Prime, and the Fitty Bitties to match. Livix with the resub of 6 months, and Kay with the surprise Prime upon entry. Is my stream dying? Anyways, got a pretty new video coming out. More coming soon. I've been editing some. I'll be live again tomorrow. Have fun with Nocturnal Hannah. Show some love with me. Catch you on the flip. Peace.
We should be able to parry every shot, but no fair for the enemies to pull that shit back on us. Exactly. It should be for me and not for them. Paul Steve 007, hello. Good to see ya. Thanks for the raid. Welcome on in. Welcome Seth West. Welcome Paul Steve. Welcome Soul